Today, let's learn a banjo solo, specifically one of Béla Fleck's solos on a live version of Wheels Up, a tune from his album My Bluegrass Heart, which sounds like this. It's a great solo, but how do you know what notes Béla is playing? Well, it's always the same process. You listen, and then try to put what you hear on the instrument. If you're right, great. If you're wrong, try something else. It's just that, over and over and over again. At first, it can be really challenging, but if you do it a lot, it gets easier. And if you can't just hear what's going on, you can look at Béla's hands, and you'll see it kind of looks like he's got his index finger near the first fret after the capo, and maybe his ring finger on the third fret. It's not easy to see which strings he's playing, but there are only so many combinations. You might not always see exactly what's happening, but often you can see enough to send you in the right direction, and use your ear to do the rest. To make it even easier than that, you can go down in the corner of the YouTube video to the settings and change the speed. Usually half speed or quarter speed is enough, and then you can listen as many times as you need to. The solo starts with a repeating pattern like this, just a backward roll over a C7 chord with an ascending and descending line on the first string. Followed by an Earl Scruggs type lick that I don't think Earl Scruggs ever played. Then Béla goes back to the repeating C7 pattern, but this time we start moving up chromatically. There's a lot of chords happening here, and most of them are wrong. They're wrong because it's not what the rest of the band is playing, but they're great because they add a lot of tension and they're bringing us to the next idea. And a lot of the times when Béla plays these kind of ascending and descending chord shapes, he's using one roll pattern at a time. It's not always the case, you still have to listen, but hearing patterns in both the left and the right hand can make this process a lot easier. And in the solo, that theme continues. Many wrong chords that sound great. He's playing those repeating roll patterns, so that consistent rhythm is legitimizing the wrongness of those chords. And it's all leading us up to a much more conventional melodic pattern, something we've heard before in Béla's playing, but also the playing of someone like Bill Keith. By the way, even though you've been seeing tablature on the screen as I'm describing this solo, I actually don't write anything down while I'm learning it. Instead, I learn a small piece of the solo and play it until I really know it, until I have it memorized. Then I move on from there. After each section, I try to play everything I've learned up until that point. And by the time I've learned the entire solo, I've already played it many, many times, albeit very, very slowly. Of course, tablature can be a useful tool, so if you'd like a PDF of the tablature for this solo, you can get that at patreon.com/EliGilbertBanjo. Though I would certainly not discourage you from trying to learn this as best you can by watching and listening. Towards the end of the solo, we have another repeating pattern, this time with a descending line on the third string, followed by another melodic pattern leading down to the end of the solo. It's not always easy to figure this stuff out, but it's more about patience than skill. With enough experience and skill, this is easy and fast. But with patience, you'll still get there. And honestly, I'm in no hurry. I'm just curious how this stuff works, and it's fun to figure it out, so I don't mind taking my time. Then, finally, once I've learned the entire solo, It's time to practice it and try to play it up to speed. But that's a whole other story for another time. So that's going to do it for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.